Every minute, a truckload of plastic enters our oceans, but where does it all go? From floating trash islands to microplastics in sea life, the journey of ocean plastic is more disturbing than you think. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more eye-opening content, and dive in as we uncover what really happens to plastic waste in the ocean. 1. It starts with plastic escaping inland. Most ocean plastic begins its journey from land through rivers, drains, or wind-blown litter. Improper waste disposal and illegal dumping feed plastics directly into waterways worldwide. Urban runoff carries plastic bags, wrappers, and packaging to nearby streams and coasts. Even inland cities contribute as rainfall and floods flush trash into the nearest water systems. Plastic waste travels hundreds of miles through rivers like the Ganges, Yangtze, and Nile. Around 80% of ocean plastic comes from land-based sources, not ships or sea activity. Fishing villages and tourist spots lacking infrastructure also leak plastic waste into the sea. 2. Plastic never fully disappears in the sea. Plastic in the ocean does not biodegrade, it photodegrades, breaking into smaller toxic particles. Sunlight, waves, and salt water weaken plastics, making them brittle but never destroying them fully. Instead of vanishing, plastic fragments into microplastics that are invisible but just as dangerous. This fragmentation process turns every bottle into thousands of floating plastic particles. Plastic bags and wrappers disintegrate into films that spread across ocean surfaces undetected. The ocean becomes filled with tiny plastic bits that resemble food for many marine species. Microplastics may persist in seawater for centuries, never dissolving or decaying naturally. 3. Marine life eats it and dies from it. Turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish and often choke or starve with blocked intestines. Seabirds collect shiny plastic bits thinking they are fish and feed them to their starving chicks. Over 1 million marine animals die each year from ingesting plastic waste in oceans. Whales have been found with stomachs full of plastic containers, nets, and bottle caps. Plastic confuses marine species. Its shape, smell, and size mimic natural food sources. Ingested plastic cannot be digested and accumulates inside stomachs, causing internal damage. Animals suffer from malnutrition, perforation, poisoning, or digestive failure after ingestion. 4. Entanglement is a silent killer. Plastic rings, fishing nets, ropes, and bags entangle animals, restricting movement or drowning them. Ghost nets abandoned fishing gear drift for years, trapping marine life in invisible snares. Seals, dolphins, and sharks often swim into these nets and cannot escape due to strong entrapment. Once tangled, animals lose mobility, get injured, or slowly starve while stuck underwater. Birds become entangled in six-pack rings or fishing lines, causing strangulation or wing damage. Coral reefs also suffer as fishing lines wrap around branches, tearing apart living coral polyps. Entanglement leads to prolonged suffering, infection, and slow death for thousands annually. 5. Floating trash islands. Form over time. Plastic waste drifting through ocean currents begins to cluster into large floating garbage patches. The most famous is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, now 3 times the size of France. This patch holds millions of tons of plastic trapped in swirling gyres between Asia and America. Waves and currents push plastics into slow-moving zones where they accumulate and spiral. Over time, these gyres become plastic graveyards filled with bottles, bags, toys, and fishing gear. While the surface looks like scattered debris, layers of submerged plastic lurk below invisibly. Some patches contain 6 times more plastic than plankton, the ocean's basic food source. 6. Coral reefs suffer plastic damage. Coral reefs, already under threat from warming, now face physical and chemical harm from plastic. Plastic debris settles on coral surfaces, blocking sunlight and promoting disease-causing bacteria. Cuts and abrasions caused by plastic contact increase infection rates within coral colonies. One study found coral disease likelihood increases 20-fold when plastic touches coral surfaces. Ropes, nets, and bags can break coral branches or smother entire colonies as they drift ashore. Microplastics in surrounding waters change the chemistry and pH balance near reef ecosystems. Algae feeding on plastic waste often overgrow and outcompete corals for space and nutrients. 7. Plastic reaches the deepest trenches. Recent explorations found plastic waste in Mariana Trench, Earth's deepest known ocean point. Plastic bags and wrappers were discovered at depths over 35,000 feet beneath the ocean surface. Microplastics have now been recorded in deep-sea sediments across all major ocean basins. No part of the ocean is untouched. Plastic waste has reached even the darkest, coldest waters. These deep plastics affect organisms we are only beginning to understand and study. Bottom-dwelling creatures have been found with synthetic fibers inside their stomachs. The pressure and cold do not destroy plastic. It sinks, settles, and pollutes silently. 8. Human food chains are affected. Microplastics are found in seafood, especially in shellfish, sardines, anchovies, and mussels. These plastics accumulate as fish eat smaller creatures contaminated by earlier exposure. Scientists now detect plastic fibers in the guts, tissues, and even brains of some marine animals. Humans who eat seafood may also ingest microplastics unknowingly, adding synthetic particles. While not fully understood, early studies show possible inflammation, hormone disruption, and risks. Plastic additives like BPA and phthalates can leach into flesh and be passed up food chains. The ocean's plastic problem becomes a public health concern when dinner includes contaminated fish. 9. The economic costs are skyrocketing. Ocean plastic affects tourism, fisheries, shipping, and coastal cleanup efforts worldwide. Beaches polluted with plastic see sharp drops in visitors, affecting local economies deeply. Fishermen lose income from plastic-damaged nets, polluted fishing zones, and dead marine stock. Marine plastic damages boat engines, cooling systems, and propellers, causing repairs and delays. Plastic pollution cleanup costs billions annually for coastal nations, cities, and communities. Tourism-heavy countries like Thailand and Indonesia face declining tourist numbers due to waste. Plastic in coral reefs reduces diving and snorkeling income in marine sanctuary zones. 10. The urgent path forward. We must reduce plastic production and use, especially single-use and non-recyclable packaging. Banning plastic bags, straws, and cutlery is a first step, not a final solution. Investing in biodegradable alternatives and reuse systems can reduce ocean plastic dramatically. Waste management must improve globally, especially near rivers and coasts in developing countries. Fishing industries should retrieve ghost gear and switch to biodegradable equipment when possible. Global treaties and laws must enforce stricter controls on plastic exports and ocean dumping. Consumers play a role refusing plastic, recycling properly, and demanding sustainable products. Innovators are building plastic-eating enzymes and ocean cleanup machines to slow accumulation. Schools and media must educate the public about plastic's long-term ocean impact urgently. Ocean plastic doesn't just float away, it breaks down, spreads, and poisons marine life in our food chain. What you saw today is only the surface of a deeper crisis. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more environmental truths, and share it with someone who needs to understand the real cost of plastic waste in our oceans.